Hello, my name is Jack Sampel. I look forward to this class with all of you. A little bit of personal information about myself. I have a wife. There we are at the Grand Canyon. I have a son named Arthur. He's about 2, and we're getting ready to have another one here in October. I spent a lot of my education in Turner. I went there K through 12, and then I got a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from Emporia State University. And some hobbies that I like, I love camping. I love just going out and being out in nature. I think it's a good way to wind down. A little bit of work environment and history. I started off as a life skills paraprofessional right after my bachelor's degree. Then I started substitute teaching to kind of get my name out there for a full-time teaching job. I was also working as a movie theater manager during this time. It was a lot of long hours, but the lessons that I learned from both of those jobs really prepared me for who I am today. I started at Wyandotte High School for my first teaching job as an adaptive special education teacher. And then I went to Piper High School, where I've been at currently. I taught at Wyandotte for 3 years, and this is my 4th year at Piper. So what is a school mission statement? A school mission statement is the overarching goal for a school or district. It's an opportunity to create a shared vision of learning for the school environment, and it's a common goal for educators and support staff to work towards. I think starting off with a common goal for a great team is kind of that main base for making successful students. And just like anything, a team and the school staff are the same. We want that team to work towards that common goal of making sure our students are successful. And one important key aspect of a school mission statement, it's got to answer these 3 questions. Whom do you seek to serve? What do you seek to accomplish? And how will you proceed with that? What's a school vision statement? So while we have the mission statement, the vision statement is still there as well, and they work in tandem. I kind of like to see it as it's the goal, it's the aftermath of the mission statement. Saying if we achieve our mission statement, what happens after? What kind of students are we going to get? What do we value? So how would we describe our success? What does that vision look like for our community and students? A vision statement helps others understand how you, as a school, building, or district, want to be viewed. It highlights your priorities and your values. So the importance of both of these statements. A mission statement is important for keeping a school focused on its core purpose. It's important for everyone to have that common goal like we talked about before. And the vision statement, a powerful vision statement, can give everyone a sense of purpose in the work they do. It will help everyone focus on their work on it to achieve that future state. And I kind of look at it as, how am I best serving students? What are they going to do after they leave this building? That's the main thing. Am I preparing them enough? And I think that's what every school, building, or district wants to do. So how do these 2 work together? Creating a school's vision and mission are essential to developing a successful program. They can provide clarity and direction for a school and/or district. These statements can act as a guide for school administrators to make decisions that live up to the statements. I kind of see it as like, the driving path. Like, what path are we taking? When an administrator makes decisions based on those mission and values, they kind of want to make sure they're making decisions that live up to those. So one way to collaboratively develop mission and value statements, we're going to focus on the vision first. First, you need to solicit input from all staff members and district or school stakeholders. And that includes community members, parents, students, anybody who benefits from this. If we have great students coming out of the schools, we have better communities. We collaborate Next, we collaborate with school and district leaders to draft a statement based on the input gathered from those various stakeholders. We present a draft to all staff for revision and discussion, and then we unveil that new vision statement to all stakeholders and ensure awareness of the intended direction and that it's going to, this is the direction we're going at least in the next 3 to 5 years. And I think having that present, having that observable, having it open and it's seen everywhere is really important for keeping everybody on board. Next, we have how to collaboratively develop a mission statement. First, you need to conduct that initial research in the community and identify the unmet wants and needs. Maybe community members aren't getting what they need from the school district at the time. Maybe their students and their children are not developing the way they should be. A lot of times I see community members talk about financial literacy as a big one. And so some school districts want to start offering classes that focus on that and get kids ready for the real world with finances and loans and taxes and all these different things. So I'm kind of seeing that shift right now in our district particularly. So based on the research you gather, you need to write a draft mission statement with 1 or 2 people, include more stakeholders who will review, comment, and refine the draft mission statement. And it said include a few more stakeholders. I think there should be a lot more. And then so they can see that base. And some people are going to agree with it and some people won't. But that's where that tinkering comes into play, where you can fine tune it to the schools, districts, and communities' needs. And next, establish a timeline to present the completed mission statement. So there has to be that overarching goal for having that mission statement ready to rock and roll for the district. And last, I put here, it might be beneficial to have more people from the community involved in the mission statement. I think that's a big key. Sometimes an outsider looking in might have more to say and more perspective that we don't necessarily have in the school building and or district. And next, how do we collaboratively develop both of these to be actionable and include the following: data use, technology, values, equity, diversity, digital citizenship, and community? I thought the best way to go about this was actually having a needs assessment through all stakeholders, students, staff, district leaders, community members, businesses, anything that can really get those, cover all those bases would really help hone in on what your district or building needs in those areas and what you might prioritize as being more important than others in that area as well. And schools need to smartly align all stakeholders for a shared purpose, and that will lead to open, candid collaboration that drives innovation. So once you open up that channel for communication and keep everybody consistently involved, that means that you can go back and revisit these statements and see if you're really meeting those standards and expectations. Next, we have characteristics of well-written statements. Mission statements should be academically focused with clear objectives. These statements must also be clearly displayed throughout the school. I think that's the big thing. If it's just posted online or, it's in a locked box, it doesn't do as much as students, staff, community members seeing it at all times. So, like I said before, mission statements still need to have these 3 questions answered. Whom do we seek to serve? What do we seek to accomplish? And how will we proceed? And lastly, vision statements should reflect the future for the students if the mission statement goal is met. That's the thing, they work in tandem. These also need to highlight those, the school's values. Some common problems with vision and mission statements: at times they might be vague or too generic, unrealistic. I think it needs to really be fine-tuned to what the school and or district needs. If they are not routinely visited district-wide, then they might have little impact on how the schools actually operate. Plus, with not being regularly visited, the values from these statements might not be in practice throughout the schools. It keeps everybody focused on that common goal. Why are we here? We want students and adults to have success. And success for adults in a school setting is making sure the students are successful and seeing them achieve more than they ever could. So keeping that focused for everybody is really important. I think that might be the main problem for mission and value statements, or mission and vision statements, excuse me. So a critique of myself, this is kind of looking at my own personal, professional youth thoughts, misgivings on mission and vision statements. I understood why they were necessary, but I was kind of missing key elements with my understanding. Like, I got it and I see them, but sometimes they don't connect. I don't revisit them as much as I should. All stakeholders need to take part in developing and implementing both statements. I didn't really know that. I kind of thought it was something that the school district made, and then we were like, okay, this is what we want to do. I didn't know that it had so many different stakeholders. These need to be tailored to the school rather than sound lofty and overarching. I kind of think that it really needs to be where the school's at that time, in that 3 to 5 year period, where the school's at and where they want to go. And both statements need to be revisited often in order for each stakeholder to have commitment to the goals and vision of the school and district. That one speaks for itself, but I can't say it enough that everybody needs to revisit this. So my school district's vision and mission statement are right here. The vision statement is very small, but I think it really speaks a lot to what we do. Building the future one child at a time. And here's the thing. I think this says that we are meeting each child where they're at and trying to make them a successful person in the future for themselves. Their definition of success and my definition of success might be completely different. They might have higher expectations, some might have lower. I want to get them to be more successful than they ever thought they could be. And I think that's what we really do here at Piper. And so the mission statement, the mission of Piper USD 203 is to provide each student with quality instruction, learning opportunities, and a safe educational environment which inspires success, personal excellence, and responsible citizenship. So while we have these, we also have beliefs for our district. Belief statements: every child can learn, every building will provide a safe, nurturing environment, every opportunity will be provided to foster education and recognize diversity, every student will be provided the skills necessary to be successful in institutions of higher learning, career, and lifelong learning. Every opportunity will be made to provide effective, efficient accountability in all areas of fiscal responsibility and educational responsibility. And every opportunity will be made to engage in partnering with community members to maximize learning. Honestly, I think this all sums it up of exactly where we're going with our district right now. I think that's what our kids need. I think that's what the community wants and thinks we need as well. And I think it's perfect. I don't have any suggestions for the superintendent right now. Success and well-being for students and adults. Mission and vision statements support the success and well-being for all students and adults by giving common goals and values. If everybody's on the same page, everybody can work together to make sure students and adults are both successful and feeling successful. This also means there's expectations to be met by staff and students. I think that's big. I think when we think of these mission and vision statements, I think we think, okay, here's where the staff needs to be. I think it needs to be both. I think students need to be held accountable and held to high expectations, and they can achieve more than they ever thought they could. And so lastly, adults who are working in the educational field want and need to see students be successful. Mission and vision statements give them that clear direction of how to make that happen.